Hi folks, hello and welcome back to another video right here on the channel. So Melody, it is the first of a new month, which means one thing.
Streetfighter.
And so what we do here, you regulars know, we show the magazines. We have 4 magazines in a box a month, and we have a figurine. So we go through the magazines, introduce the characters, have a little bit of a laugh and a giggle along the way, and have a little bit of a waffle about the retro sections. And there's a little turntable view at the end of the video, so you can see the miniature. Well, not so much miniature, because like, you know, properly. Okay, so before we start, folks, this is issue 47, 48, 49, and 50 Melody.
Can't believe it. Where's the time gone?
I really don't know. For you folks who are sort of still with us from the beginning, thank you so much. I know there's like a lot of you that like are really like fans. You know, Jason, Jimmy, Justin, Glenn, a few other folks if I've like forgotten your names and whatever. We do this for you, you know. I mean, this is my personal collection of minis, but hey ho. But these run through to 60. So looking on the shelf there now, there are another 3 boxes. So we are on the 4th to last episode of the series. Okay, so intro's out the way. A minute 22's gone by on the clock, so it's time to keep going. Okay, so issue 47 then, Melody, we start with a guy called Rufus. And straight away, looks like a big boy, doesn't he? Okay, so there's the cover there. There is Rufus. So should we find out about Rufus?
Yeah. Rufus,
the fighting meatball. Okay. A greedy and temperamental kung fu expert, Rufus has only one goal in life: to obtain the title of martial arts champion of the United States, which is currently in the possession of Ken Masters. And although his obesity might suggest otherwise, Rufus has the abilities to make it. And he says, "Get ready, Ken Masters, your days are numbered." Okay, so there is our first graphic of Rufus. Okay. He's actually quite an impressive figurine. We were looking at him, weren't we, off camera before starting the video. Okay, so he says, "Ha, looks like I finally caught up to you, Blondie." He's got a real thing with Ken, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe this is why Ken Masters wanted. Rufus doesn't have any kind of self-esteem or insecurity issues. In fact, quite the opposite. He's proud of his obesity and he looks at fitter fighters with disdain. In his eyes, they are nothing more than pathetic weaklings, and regarding their abilities for combat, well, he has declared himself the best fighter in the United States. So when you see this guy in his outfit, as he's a big boy, good on him. Good on him. I wish there was more positivity within video games and the media in general, without making this a political party broadcast, to body shape, body sizes, stuff like that. But hey, let's move on. Okay, so fun facts, playing for laughs. Rufus made his debut in Street Fighter 4 in 2008 as the most extraordinary new character in the game. Okay, so his bio. Every month we have a bio of each fighter. So his date of birth, the 30th of July, birthplace United States, 1.95 metres in height, weight 185 kilograms, and as previously mentioned, his debut, Street Fighter 4, 2008. An interesting little fact for you, says Fighter and Biker. The look of Rufus is clearly inspired by the leading character of Beverly Hills Ninja. Okay. So, techniques and abilities. It says break kung fu. Rufus might seem an unsuitable shape for a fighter, but nothing could be further from the truth. He is surprisingly fast in his special attacks, which are useful to put pressure on an opponent and the key to executing long and harmful combos. Okay, so his main technique is the Galactic Tornado. Then we have the Space Opera Symphony, the Snake Strike, and the Spectacle Romance. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so just show them up there for the folks to get a quick idea of. And I've got a mate in work, Liam, and self-confessed big boy, and he does his own little version of martial arts, and he calls it Fatty Karate. And just seeing some of this stuff here, Leo, if you're watching, Fatty Karate on the go there, little bit of in-joke. Okay, so there is the poster.
Wow.
Not a spectacular poster, I fear. But what is funny there is there's a little wanted poster at the back of Ken, and it's been graffitied all over. So we can see his disdain for Ken Masters. Ken, of course, being one of the main characters, one of the original characters. I face him a lot, being Ryu man. Yeah. Okay, so the Legend of Street Fighter, the final round, the legacy of Street Fighter. Now, the last few issues we've had this about these books, haven't we?
Yeah.
This is a book, and it says it's a complete review of the 3-decade history of the franchise. Beyond the screen, it says the first 150 pages of the books are devoted to the games, while the remaining 200 feature everything that surrounded Street Fighter throughout its 30 years of existence. We're not endorsed by this product in the least. I paid like the monthly subscription all the way through and stuff. But what I would say is something like this would really interest me. It really would. If you are like such a fan of the actual, franchise and stuff, these books they look amazing.
Yeah, they do.
And they actually look like big books. It says 150 and 200 there, so you're looking like sort of 300 odd pages. So it's more of a coffee table tome as to a book. But yeah, anybody out there actually got any of these? Drop me a comment below. Let me know what they're like. I could see myself buying a couple of them during over the years, maybe. The History of Capcom. Japanese Demons. The Onimusha franchise. Capcom transferred the playstyle of Resident Evil into a feudal Japan setting. Okay, so I have heard of these. I've never played them. Initially, the artwork, I was watching something on Netflix the other night, Tokyo Ghoul, an anime, maybe one you've seen, Justin, and it looks very, very reminiscent to that. So it tells us all about the game itself. I do love these sections. I'm going to miss them, to be honest, when this series finishes. Because normally there is a game that I've played or I've got a memory of or something that I will reminisce on. But I think you folks are quite lucky by the look of it today. Okay, and then we have finishing off From Japan to Paris and Beyond, the new release of Onimusha. And it just gives various different versions. There's one on a couple on the PlayStation 2 and stuff. Forgive my ignorance, folks. I honestly have no recollection of playing these, but for anyone interested, if there's any fans out there, let me know below. And there's a quick sketch of Rufus. So there we go. That's issue 47 done and covered. Melody, if you could just show the picture of Rufus for us. As I say, he's quite a big boy, a sparkly yellow leotard.
Oh, big boy Rufus.
Yeah. There's Fatty Karate. Huss, huss, huss. Okay. Got that out there. Last Liam joke in there. Okay, so issue 48, Yorian.
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy, Yorian, issue 48 of the magazine.
Definitely one for the ladies.
Yeah, Melody was having a little bit of a giggle before filming, and you'll see why when you see the figurine. Well, you're going to see why in a minute. Okay, Yorian, the metal Colossus, and he does look like a Colossus, to be fair, doesn't he? One of the most powerful leaders of the secret society that manipulates the world from the shadows, Yorian and his brother Gil were selected as candidates to lead the oldest organisation on the planet, whose influence on the world order and the fate of humankind dates back to time immemorial. And he says, "My rage will only be appeased when I prove to be the true emperor." So you're going to see exactly what Melody having a little giggle at before. A quite scantily clad male figure, which, I mean, to be fair, it doesn't even up because the amount of scantily clad females within the series are quite numerous, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and he says again, you're so pathetic that I wouldn't even use you as a lab rat. Get out of my sight. Okay, did you know the treacherous rebel Yorian made his debut in Street Fighter 3 Second Impact in 1997 as Gil's brother and his dark side. The immense power of his older brother in the game as a final enemy in Street Fighter 3 New Generation was too much to make him a regular playable fighter. Therefore, Yorian was included as a character similar to Gil, but with a level of power that did not break the balance of the game. So yeah, that's quite interesting, that actually. Date of birth unknown, birthplace unknown, 1.95 metres in height, 120 kilograms in weight, and aforementioned Street Fighter 3 Second Impact 1997. Okay, so there we are. There he is again in all his glory. Okay, and there's the rest of the pages. Put a smile on Melody's face anyway. Okay, so techniques and abilities, the Bronze Man. He most certainly is, isn't he? Thanks to his Aegis Reflector, Yorian is a character who is potentially deadly in the hands of an expert player. So we say this every issue, don't we? There's always elite fighters.
Yeah.
That in the hands of an ordinary mortal, you probably get destroyed. But with someone who knows what they're doing, you'd have a really good time, wouldn't you? Okay, so let's have a look then. So we've got the Aegis Reflector. We have the Metallic Sphere, the Dominant Crush, and the chariot tackle. And by the look of it, I don't think that's the only tackle it's about, is it, to be fair? Okay, so there we go. Moving swiftly on. Oh, we didn't expect that, did we?
No, not at all.
Melody looks quite disappointed. He's actually dressed. There we go, okay. So there is Yorian there. A rather interesting poster.
Yeah.
It's very reminiscent of like maybe, not I was going to say World War II initially with the big guns on the back there, but I don't think that's interesting. Yeah. Okay, so the legend of Street Fighter, the music of Street Fighter 2. So now we're going on to CDs with soundtracks. Do any of you guys actually listen to the game soundtracks? I say movie, I've got loads of movie soundtracks, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, etc., whatever, but it's something, again, that's always interested me. I got a subscription to the Retro Gamer magazine, oh crikey, about maybe 10 years ago now, and every so often they tend to do like a little CD with all the music off the Commodore 64 and stuff like that, and they are really, really good, you know, to listen to. So, I mean, any of you guys got any of them? Or, I mean, I know like in today's world now, I've got people screaming at me, just download it, you're stupid, and put your own expletive in there, you know, that's fair enough, but there's still a lot to be said for CDs, in my opinion, you know. Hey ho, I'm the other side of 50, so... Okay, so Street Fighter Tribute album, Street Fighter 2 soundtrack there, Street Fighter 2 image album. I'm just going to give you a little flash there, guys, just to let you have a look at them to see what I'm talking about there. I say, drop us a comment below, would you buy these? Do you own any of these, you know? History of Capcom, wielding the celestial brush, Akami, sorry. The cult video game that brought a complete art exhibition to your TV set. I have got to be 100% honest, like the last issue. Never played. In fact, I'll tell you what I've never even heard of. There is a bit of bump over the game. I'm not going to read it because it's too long to go into. And it was on the PlayStation 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you the pictures there, guys. Again, I've not heard of this, and I probably am showing a little bit of ignorance maybe. But if you have, if you played it, let us know. Comments below. Finishing off, more strokes for the Celestial Brush. The status of Akami as a cult game made its return possible on other platforms. And there's a picture of the Nintendo DS. So yeah, anybody there who's, you know, remotely aware of this, you know, hit us up. I've been caught out. A moment Melody's been waiting for.
Right. Here's Yorian in all his glory. Look at them muscles.
There you go, ladies. Okay, so Melody, you can just catch your breath for a moment, and we shall go on to issue number 49. This is Sean.
Sean.
Okay, there it is, Sean. Unfortunately, not Sean of the Dead. Oh, I say. You just made up for it, Yorian.
I was just going to say that was all coming off.
Okay, so let's get back to work. So Sean, the hard-working pupil, a young Brazilian determined to become a great fighter. Sean Matsuda came from a family of great martial arts experts, but he was more interested in sports like basketball. But when he saw Ken Masters in action, are we seeing it straight here?
Yeah.
Okay, he decided to follow his footsteps, and he says, "What? You'll let me win if I give you my sister's phone number? No way, no cheating." Okay, so there is Sean. He's a young guy, isn't he? Could be an interesting fighter. Okay, he also says, "I did it, master. I defeated my first opponent. Yeah, I know, it's too soon to get over enthusiastic. But yeah, he looks like a quite excitable young guy, doesn't he?" Mm-hmm. So he says, "Trainee, Sean was amazed when he saw Ken fighting, to the point of wanting nothing more in life but to become his pupil. The boy began to imitate the fighting style of his idol, but Ken was reluctant to teach him, unable to see himself in the role of a teacher." Okay, so he's obviously a pupil of Ken Masters. Did you know, the rookie karate fighter, Sean made his debut in Street Fighter 3 1997, injecting new blood into the franchise. Initially, his appearance was not scheduled until the development team of Street Fighter 3 realised that they wouldn't have time to finish one of their planned characters, so you've obviously put him in there. Yeah. And just curiously, it says the character was Hugo Andore. For any of you aficionados out there who didn't know that. Okay, so the date of birth, 15th of August. We know he's born in Brazil, 1.75 metres in height, 68 kilograms. Debut, Street Fighter 3, 1997. Okay. So he's not a character I'd play as, to be fair, but you know, he's interesting. So he's effective in his own way. Sean shares several abilities with other Street Fighter characters with a similar fighting style, including Ryu, Ken, and Akuma. Okay. So Sean lacks the power of the typical Ansatsuken character, but he can be effective in his own way. Okay, so his moves are the Sean Tackle, Hyper Tornado, the Tornado, and the Hado Blair Burst. So we can see already shades of Ryu with the fireball there. Yeah, okay. So I say these issues are nice because they just show the different fighters' main moves. So you can turn around and say, okay, well, yeah, I fancy that, or not, you know. Okay, that's quite dynamic. Quite a nice. And he's actually got his basketball there as well. Yeah, so there we go, guys. There's the poster. And just a little reminder as well, just remind myself there when doing this poster, I have a stack of these magazines in the studio at home, and I'm going to send them out to anybody who wants them. I've got a couple of people who've shown an interest, so in the last episode I will give details of that and we'll get them out to you, okay? So look, The Legend of Street Fighter. Okay, Street Fighter 3 Ryu Final. I'm not sure what this is. It's yet another book, isn't it? But it looks like almost like comic work, which I'll show you in a minute. Yeah, I've been caught out there. I think it's the Ryu part of there's the cover there, and as you say, if you see the panels there, looks like a kind of comic collection, because I mean obviously Street Fighter wasn't just in the arcades, every home version ever. We know there's books, we know there's soundtracks, we know there's figurines, there's everything really, isn't it? It's a massive universe. The ultimate encounter between Ryu and Akuma is told in great manga. Manga, of course, being the Japanese comics. I've dabbled a wee bit, but I suspect, again, as I've already mentioned, like Justin is probably right into manga and stuff like that. One of a friend of the channel and a regular viewer, lovely guy, check him out. Okay, the History of Capcom. Get them all, the Monster Hunter franchise. Capcom's second most successful series. Okay, so these again I'm aware of them, but I've never played one. And to show you how big they are, says the Monster Hunter franchise has sold over 65 million copies to date. These numbers are below the overwhelming figures of Resident Evil, which incidentally is 105 million. But the Zombie Saga is simply unbeatable in this regard. Okay, so I mean that's quite interesting. I'm sure there's a few of you here, regular viewers, who would have played this title, the Monster Hunter. Again, tell me what I'm missing. Comments below, please, folks. Finishing off, last page of the magazine, The History of Capcom, Fighting Tooth and Claw. The Monster Hunter franchise includes a multitude of games, so the stuff on the Nintendo Wii, the DS, the PlayStation 2, PS4, for any of the more modern gamers. I know PS5's out now, but in Japan, Monster Hunter Freedom ended up surpassing the sales of the Pokemon franchise. That is how big it is. Okay, a little blip for you there, folks. On the last page, a little scroll there of Sean. And if Melody can show... Has he actually got the basket?
He's got the basketball in his hand,
Yeah, I do like that. So we see him in his outfit, and he's got that cool basketball there in his left hand. A man after my own heart. Of course, loving basketball and being a massive New York Knicks fan of the NBA. Haven't had the privilege of going to Madison Square Garden seeing him play as well, which is something else, that's a different story. Okay, so that's quite an interesting image for issue 50 of the magazine. Okay, so here we go, boys. Meet Laura. Quite a interesting looking fighter. She's got almost that kind of Shakira type of look to it, hasn't she? Okay, so Laura, the electric fighter. A beautiful Brazilian. She's an expert in jiu-jitsu. Okay, so as an heir and the Matsuda jiu-jitsu style, Laura liked to test herself by taking on the best fighters she could find. That led her to make great friends, but also to become the target of dangerous opponents. And she says, boom, this is how you start a fight and end it quick. Do I need to call you a doctor? Okay, so she's obviously not just, you know, a physically attractive lady, but quite a dangerous one as well. Okay, one for you maybe, Wayne. You'll get an episode that goes by without mentioning Lord Deacon, do we? In some capacity.
She needs to, like, pull the top in a little bit.
Nah, she doesn't. Okay, so it says, do you think that size will give you an edge? You'll be painfully surprised, big boy. Okay, so did you know from Brazil with Love, Laura made her debut in Street Fighter V 2016 and quickly became an extremely popular character. Okay, 30th of July, date of birth, Brazilian by birth, 1.75 metres, 72 kilograms in weight. Debut, Street Fighter V 2016, strong and gifted. She looks it, doesn't she?
In more ways than one.
There we go, strong and gifted. That's what I'd say there. No issue at all. So look, electric personality. Okay, Laura has a wide range of combos at her disposal, which she can end with a hold to inflict extra damage. So obviously the Jiu-Jitsu in her there. And her moves are the Thunderclap, Inazuma Spin Hold, the Bolt Charge, and the Sunset Wheel. So by the look of these guys, any of you guys like UFC, MMA, she's obviously a fighter that uses submission techniques to end her opponents. Looks like an arm bar in there for one, a chokehold. So yeah, very dangerous lady indeed, isn't she? Okay, and the poster, I think that's very underwhelming. I'll be honest. I'd have expected a better poster than that. But what do you think, guys? There is Laura. Yeah, not a very nice poster there, really. I thought we may have had like a full sort of spread, but anyway. The Legend of Street Fighter, the Undisputed Street Fighter, Capcom's official book to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Street Fighter. Gee whiz, they knocked this out of the park, didn't they? The art and innovation behind the game-changing series. Okay, Undisputed gives prominence on the Street Fighter gaming community, of course being massive in esports. These games, when you first started out, used to be sitting next to your mate, elbowing each other on a couch, you know, and all that, and playing. It's got onto the world stage with esports. Yeah, very competitive game, as obviously any two-player fighter is. So just a quick look at that one there, okay? Then we go on to History of Capcom. Trials and Tribulations, the Ace Attorney franchise. Have you heard of these? Do you know who Phoenix Wright is?
I've heard, yeah.
Yeah. Capcom hit home with this legal series, a far cry from its usual projects. These were really unusual. I never got to play them, but I have friends who did. And you were basically, you're like a lawyer and you're trying to sort of fight in court, which is quite a unique concept, really. And you guys played this one? Like I say, I'm aware of it. As far as I know, there's like loads of versions of it and stuff like that. And they were quite popular because they were quite left field. There was something that come out of there that there's not much else like. Every other game used to be a fighter or a shooter or whatever, you know. So the fact that they actually Capcom pitched this in there, to me, was like a result, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a little look there. A Phoenix Wright, that's the Nintendo DS version. You get a little bit of an idea. Like I say, I can't go too much in depth. I've never played one, but there's something I'd like to play at some point, to be fair. Okay, and the Rule of Law, Ace Attorney soon became an extremely popular franchise. Yeah, I just said there. The warm welcome to the original Ace Attorney led Capcom to release several sequels, spin-offs, remakes, and even crossovers for a multitude of platforms between 2001 and 2017. 12 titles were launched, so you know, a 16-year run with 12 titles isn't bad at all. Going across obviously multi-formats. So yeah, here's the last page, folks. For any of you fans of that particular franchise out there, and if Melody just finishes off by showing us Laura.
There you go, boys.
So yeah, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter. Yeah, nice figure. Okay guys, so like I say, we're moving our way through these now. We've got 3 more episodes left, so we're ticking down the boxes and whatever. Leave us comments below. What was your favourite figure? Have you played as any of these characters? What else, you know, anything you want to tell us, just tell us absolutely anything at all. Comments below, say hi, etc. Have you played in the Phoenix Wright or any of the Amusha or any of the other ones? Let me know. I'm really, really interested, okay? So, I say, we'll be back next month for the 3rd to final episode. And, yeah, YouTube stuff. If you fell across us here by links, you know, suggestions, searches, whatever, hopefully word of mouth, you like what you see, you like this series, etc., you like anything else that's on there, hit that subscribe button if you want. You know, share the video amongst your friends. leave us a little like, let us know we're doing something right at least, and more importantly, comments below, okay? Till next month, we'll see you for the next one. Melody?
Bye bye for now.
See you later.